Alrighty, hello everybody. I'm gonna wait for a couple of you guys to pop in. So just wanted to really hit on the fact that a lot of us are not focusing on what's really important right now within the preparedness world, and I'm starting to see more big channels harping on the fact that we do need to take some time for ourselves, maybe pull back a little bit from the information overload that a lot of us are suffering from right now, because arguably things are not getting better. I've had some conversations with people that I would describe as complete normies who have introduced some topics that I was surprised that they were aware of, and with everybody becoming more increasingly alarmed about the increasing food costs and the increasing fuel costs, a lot of people are having to weigh the option of whether or not they keep the job that they're at, for example, which is quite scary as to what that will eventually bring down. If there's nobody to work these service jobs, if there's no one to keep the lights on because they can no longer afford to go in, things won't have a good outcome. Now, the reason I'm even here enjoying the beach today, I'm here for work purposes. This is not something I would go out and lavishly spend money on, but at the same time, getting to sit here and enjoy the sun and enjoy the beach a little bit, it kind of reminds me that I do need to take a little more time for myself like this, and I think we all do, especially in times like this. We do need to enjoy the little bit of normalcy that's left, and it's really important that you make those memories with family right now. I have a relative who just passed, actually had a few who just passed recently, and you can't get time back, so as important as it is to keep focusing on what we're doing right now, we do need to double down on making those memories and enjoying the bit of normalcy that still exists. One of the things that I thought was kind of interesting development as far as where we're at with all of this too. I'm sure many of you are well aware that we're at over $5 a gallon now. It's quickly becoming the national average. I saw $5.76 down here, and that was a bit of a shocker. I don't know what you guys are looking at in your general area, but that doesn't bode well for food price increases. And as I mentioned, establishments keeping or retaining their staff is going to become that much harder. Hey, Man City, good morning. This doesn't look like anything that you guys have in Canada, I take it. Just got back from vacation in Texas Hill Country. Yeah, nice. The beach for me is super therapeutic. I'm not a big beach person. I don't typically like to go into the ocean or the water because that's where sharks are, and it's a very avoidable situation, so I just like to look at it personally. You said are you guys using that weird metric system up there, Van City? You guys should just go back to what we're using because it's superior, even though we're the only ones left using our system of measurement. When we were the world's foremost superpower, it was pretty easy to say stuff like that, but the world is definitely rapidly changing. That's kind of one of the shocking things too, and I've noticed too when talking to normies, and I'm shocked at the amount of stuff that they're paying attention to, especially with the conflict overseas, and where a lot of people are keenly aware that they're being led in a certain direction to believe a certain way about a large conflict that's occurring, and that it may not be going as smoothly as a lot of what the media is showing, and there's certainly cracks in the story now where you're even seeing Western outlets report some of the issues. Premium $5.99. Yeah, no thank you. Yeah, I'm sure we're not far behind you. I think premium is pretty close to that. Not far from here. Here it's like over $6. I'm in a beach area right now, so things are gonna just be higher. But yeah, it was kind of shocking to see the $5.76 for regular. I drive a Tundra, so I run regular, and I would anyway, honestly. But that's what it's spec'd for. So. But yeah, definitely take these. Like I said, definitely take these opportunities to go out and enjoy life to the fullest. Time is really something that I mean, it's obviously finite, it's our most valuable resource. 520 in Houston. Yeah, oof. Yeah, part of me wanted a diesel. I still kind of want one, but if I was to get one, it would be an older Mercedes diesel or an older Volvo turbo diesel. So I would have the opportunity to maybe convert things over to a vegetable oil setup at some point. But the price on those, they're just not really that accessible anymore. They're getting out there. People are starting to look at them more like collector opportunities than daily drivers at this point, so it doesn't really make much sense to add another car. I've already got two. Which might be something I might make some more videos on in the future. I've got a project car that I've had for some time, and hoping to get it squared away. I have a pretty cool project idea. I'll probably do some videos on it in the future. The reality of owning a Crown Victoria, for example, is it's an interesting car to own, especially when I bought it several years ago, because people just assumed it was an in-service police car. And so if you're trying to get anywhere in a hurry, they're going to drive between 5 and 10 miles under still in a lot of areas because they're still fairly common in Florida. But it's a less of a problem now. But that also gets terrible fuel economy. And what I'm going to do to it is going to make it get worse fuel economy because I want to convert it into an FDNY tribute car. So once I throw a light bar on it, it's going to really, really drag. But it's a really robust car. I would definitely recommend if you're looking for a reliable daily driver. But be prepared to put money into it. If you want someone that's capable of jumping curbs and will just keep going and probably outlive you by several decades, it's a really good option, especially for a first car. The company I work for covering 75% of your fuel costs, Thomas. Oh, that's excellent. You're at $6.75 in city? Yeah, that's wild. I saw some reports out of California of $10 a gallon gas becoming more normal, and it costs you $200 Canadian to fill 60%. Oh no. Yeah, this is really unsustainable. That's why I've just kind of noticed that I don't really have preparedness conversations outside of here mostly, maybe with immediate friends or family, but I don't really talk about this with the normies, and they're the ones who are bringing a lot of these concerns forward. And especially with that DHS warning about civil unrest, it really makes you wonder, where the pulse is at amongst the general population. And I have a sneaking suspicion that over the next few months, especially now that the feds are kind of clued in on this, and some of the protests that we've seen. I think Monday and Wednesday of next week, if you guys aren't aware, are some Supreme Court decision days. And I think we're going to see a little bit of upheaval around those, mostly in major cities, of course. They don't come out of the countryside, which is one of the net benefits of being out in the countryside. But be aware that if they're willing to target these officials, and you can see that they're not even willing to use federal resources to stop these people or charge them with anything, when in many cases what they're doing is technically illegal, or at least at the minimum arrest them, put them before a judge, something. They're not going to do anything when they come to suburbia either, just like we saw the last several years. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to cut it short here in just a moment. I just wanted to share my view with you guys today, and a little bit of a different filming location than usual. Beautiful car alarm. That's probably a good time to call it. Really. But yeah, I wish you all the best. As I said, really enjoy the bit of normalcy that we have left, and really soak up the times that we have now, because I just see everything that's going on right now, and we all do. It's not normal. People are clued in on the fact that things are no longer normal, and they're not going to get more comfortable based on everything that's happening right now. So thank you guys again for tuning in.